Welcome back to another video about how to heal adoption and narcissistic abuse. If you are new to my channel, my name is Theodora. I work as a spiritual and psychological counselor, and I am an adoptee myself. I wanted to make a video about celebration. I want this video to be a reminder for you to remember to celebrate yourself, to celebrate how far you have come, to celebrate everything that you have been through, and to celebrate how unique and incredible, amazing you are. The reason why I wanted to make this video is because adopted people and people in general who have been through very, very challenging childhoods, they don't give themselves enough credit. They don't celebrate themselves enough. They don't take enough days off. They don't take time to rest. They don't take time to enjoy life. And they don't take time to play. This is, for many people, because of what happened to them. This is a trauma response for many people. This is something that I have experienced in my life as well, and that I'm still experiencing, that I work too much and I struggle with taking time off, with taking a whole day off where I'm not working on something. Right now I'm working on translating my Danish book into English called How to Navigate Adulthood as an Adoptee. And it's taking a lot of time to translate it because my English is not perfect. And I have also damaging in my brain that makes it difficult for me to put the words correctly together in every language that I speak. So I struggle a lot with getting this book translated, and I have an amazing friend who's helping me and who is correcting all my grammar and this sentence that doesn't make any sense, and I don't know what I would have done without her. And I really hope that she knows how grateful I am for her help. I've seen this in a lot of the people I've worked with as well, a lot of adopted people, that they become perfectionists and they do everything they can to prove their worth to other people. And they do it in friendships, they do it at work, with their colleagues, with their boss. They want to be the best, or at least they want to make sure that the other people can see that they really did a huge effort, that maybe they have given more than the other colleagues have done, and that maybe they're staying longer hours to fulfill the project or the task than their colleagues are, because they want to make sure that they are good enough and that they're not going to be rejected, because deep inside they are so scared that they might be rejected because they're not good enough, because that's the conclusion that child's brain made when they were separated from their mother and then being placed for adoption. I have struggled with this my whole life, literally. I wasn't the best in my school, and it was not because I didn't want to. It was simply because my brain was damaged in many areas. So it was very difficult for me to learn math, for example. It's too complex for my brain to comprehend. And to some degree, language, as I mentioned, is also a struggle for me. And I realized that when I was studying French at the university. Until then, I had learned Danish, which is my mother tongue, and then I had learned English and tried to learn German because I went to a Waldorf school as a child where they speak German. But I forgot German very quickly again. And then I decided to study French at the university. And that's when it hit me that that I made the same mistakes no matter what language I was learning or speaking. I made some of the same mistakes. It was almost like my brain couldn't put these elements together. It was too complex for my brain. And this is something I have to live with, that I will struggle with this probably for the rest of my life, because there's certain areas in my brain that's damaged. And I think when we experience things like this, where we just can't be as good as the others, we can't beat ourselves up about that. And we can't overwork in order to cope with the fact that we're different. I think the most powerful thing we can do is to embrace that this is how we are. This is how I am. I can't change this. This is how I'm going to be. And no matter what, people are either going to like me or they're not going to like me. And that has nothing to do with the fact that I'm adopted or the fact that I was separated from my mother at birth. It has nothing to do with that. But it gets so blurry for many adopted people when we carry these very, very deep adoption wounds within us, these separation wounds, these abandonment experiences from the most important person in our life. And it tends to overshadow other areas of our lives, so we can't see clearly. We end up believing the thoughts that our child's brain concluded from being separated from the mother, the conclusion that we are forever unlovable, the conclusion that we will never be good enough for anyone, and the conclusion that we have to work for a relationship. We have to work to earn a relationship to another person, like we experienced it with our adoptive family, that we might feel like we had to work for that. It's not optimal for a child. That's not healthy for a child, because it will conclude, well, then I'm just not good enough. That's why I have to work for it, because I'm not good enough. That's what I learned. That's what they're showing me, that I have to deliver something. I have to produce something and deliver it in order to receive their love, in order to receive their validation and their attention and their time and maybe a hug from them. And no child should experience that, not even adopted people. So I just really hope that you know that you don't have to produce something extraordinary in your friendships, in your relationships, in your relationship with your co-workers. You don't have to be anything extraordinary other than being yourself, because that is the most extraordinary you will ever be able to show other people. It's your uniqueness. It's your strength to dare to be yourself, to dare to show yourself in your vulnerability. That is where your power lies. It's to show the world that I am more than what happened to me, and you're never gonna make me feel like I am not good enough by just existing. So I really hope that you will celebrate everything that you have accomplished. Celebrate how amazing you are. Celebrate how strong you are. Take some breaks from working so hard, from wanting everything to be perfect. Take some breaks from constantly showing up for your friends. They are allowed to show up for you as well, but you need to give them the space to do that. And if they don't do that, then maybe they're not the right friends for you. But the only way we can find out is by giving people the time and space to be themselves, because then we will see their true nature. And the same goes for you. People need to let you be who you are. They need to give you the space and the time to show them your true nature and how authentic you can be and how unique you are and how different you are. Because that's what they're gonna either choose or not choose. And that has nothing to do with you as well. We can't be liked by anyone because we're not supposed to be liked by anyone. Again, not to talk about narcissism, but this is where we distinguish from narcissistic people. Narcissistic people, they want to be liked by anyone. They're too nice, they're too gentle, they're too great, they're too amazing. And that is not healthy. We're not supposed to be that nice. So remember that every time someone is not choosing you, someone is rejecting you, or what you feel like and rejection, it's authentic. Think about it like that. That is very authentic, because you don't want to have people in your life that's not genuinely caring for you, that might have a secret agenda, that might only be with you because you have money, or because you're pretty, or because you are such a huge people pleaser and they really, really like to take advantage of that. You don't need that in your life. And the longer you're holding on to these people, the longer that the amazing people, the authentic people, are going to wait to enter your life, because they are out there. They're out there waiting for you. They're just as amazing as you are. You will have such a different experience with them, such a different connection with them, once you dare to show up. Once you dare to show up as your most authentic version of yourself. That is going to frighten people. It's going to scare people away, but only the wrong people, not the right ones. They will see your light from such a far distance, and they're gonna come and find you, because they have walked the same path as you have, feeling alone, feeling isolated, feeling like no one really cared for them, like no one was authentic to them, and they feel just as lost. And maybe they're also about to give up, until they saw your light shining from far away, and they're on their way to you. One of the best things we can do when we are on this recovering path from healing adoption, healing the trauma, healing the abandonment, is to celebrate. I know it sounds very simple and it might sound too good to be true. I have done this in my life many times. I didn't used to do this because I didn't know that it was a thing, and I did not know it was that powerful, but it really, really is. When I began celebrating how far I've come, when I celebrated my heightened awareness that I have increased over the last couple of years, which has made me make better choices that were more aligned to who I really am on a soul level. And the more we take these aligned actions, the more we choose from our heart, the more we choose to our soul, our intuition, the more we can create space to be our most authentic self. Dare to celebrate yourself. You need to celebrate yourself if you want the life that you're yearning for. That is a part of it. That is my experience. That celebration of who you are is a huge part of the life that we want. One of the practical things that I actually did was to go buy flowers to myself. There was a flower shop close to a station. It was a very, very huge flower shop. It was very simple, but they had the most amazing flowers you can ever imagine. And they were very, very affordable as well. And I said to myself, every week I'm gonna go and buy a new bouquet of flowers. I'm gonna practice giving it to myself and receiving it. Practice receiving the flowers, because it's not natural for many of us who are dealing with adoption trauma, maybe also narcissistic abuse. It's not easy and it's not natural for us. So this was something that I did. And you can do that as well. It doesn't have to be flowers necessarily. It can be that you're gonna go buy a magazine that you love to read, or whatever it is that makes you feel special, that makes you feel worthy, that makes you feel amazing, that makes you feel good. Go buy that. Try to practice giving it to yourself and then practice receiving it. And if it's difficult, take your time to find out what beliefs that's holding you back from receiving it. That's all I have for you now. I hope this video gave you comfort, reassurance, and you feel less alone on your journey. Send this to a friend who needs to celebrate how amazing they are. We don't know how many people who are struggling, because we are all pretending that we're fine, even though we're not. I am sending you all my love, all my support. You are in my thoughts and in my heart in every video that I make. I hope you know that. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.